20 years and has worked and performed with some of the industry's pioneers and trailblazers, among them Kamazu, Chicco and Rebecca Malope. His time within the 80s outfit Zasha saw him experiment with various genres before heading into reggae to work with late singer Lucky Dube in 1995 as his lead guitarist. And in the year 2000, together with 3 other musicians, he formed a group called Khumbula, which took maskandi and fused it with other genres. In 2010, Skipper Shabalala then decided to focus on a solo career, which resulted in recording of the first solo album titled Bekezela. Now, the success of that album has led to yet another one, and it is called Singabantu, which means we are human. And Tati Shabalala is here to tell us more about that album. So, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about this title, Singabantu. Why did you decide on this title?
Singabantu. Yes, I think I needed to emphasize that we don't have to the racial discrimination must actually not be abolished from books, you know. It has to be also in our minds as well. So that's exactly what led me to have this type of a title.
How long did it take you to put together this album, and who did you work with on this album?
More or less, it took me close to 2 years because, you know, sometimes these days you have to do it yourself, you know. You know, this piracy thing has actually made the recording industries, not recording companies, not to actually now fund for musicians, you know, because of this piracy. But I've worked with wonderful people here. I've collaborated with nice musicians, the likes of Mbuso Khoza, Ben Yadi from Nigeria, and the late Kolinkosi on keyboards. And my production team, Godfrey Timkulu, the lead singer of Zasha, and David Manuel. Those are the people actually that made it possible for me to make this album.
How did working with these different people that I mentioned in the intro, Chicco, Rebecca Malope, and the late Lucky Dube, influence you into and shape you into the musician that you are today?
Yeah, those days, I mean, Chicco, Rebecca, Kamazu, we used to perform in the nightclubs mainly and performing different styles of music. You know, when you in the 90s, you know, there was no way you could perform in festivals and stuff like that. Yeah. You were supposed to be indoors, you know, because it was rough then. So yeah, so that's where they heard about us, that there's a good band there performing by the name of Zasha. So they asked us to work with them. So in the nightclubs, you actually you're given a mandate or maybe some program that, you know, you have to play all those hit records. Yeah. So it actually taught me to play different styles of music. Yet that's what also made me not to struggle when I joined Lucky Dube in 1994. Yeah.
All right. So, and for you, what makes right now the best time to be part of South African music landscape?
Yeah, maturity and the understanding of music over the years, you know.
Okay, so what do you sing about in Singabantu? What is the overall message in the album?
In the whole album? I mean, humanity. I mean, you listen to songs like Imbogoto, you know, those are the songs that you don't have to, it's trying to emphasize the abuse of women and children. And so for people actually to be aware of that, there's things like that, and we're trying to actually make sure that doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't have to be in August or a certain month. That this is the month for us to be aware of the women abuse. We need to be aware of that all the time. Yes. Okay,
and what part of your career influenced this album the most, and how evident is it in what we're going to hear in Singabantu?
Part of my career, I think going overseas, you know, being aware that we actually rich in terms of music, but I don't think we are aware enough that we've got what it takes to be in the world. You know, you go to Germany, to most of the countries in Europe or America, you go there are festivals that are being hosted that actually embraces or maybe respects African music as a whole, where you find African music musicians being built on those festivals. So being aware that African music is so appreciated, it actually made me to go this way in terms of my style of music.
All right, Skipper Shabalala, thank you so much for talking to us. He's talking to us about his second soul album titled Singabantu, and he's in studio to tell us more about it and give us a bit of music from it now that you will hear him a little later on the program performing a couple of tracks from the recording later on the program.